James Wade has beaten Mark Webster for the 5th time in a row in front of the TV cameras, winning their first round match here 6-3 at Butlins in Minehead. Well, the machine averaged 95 to Webster's 85. Out of 36 darts at a double between them, they conspired to miss 27 of them. That's very much in keeping with the day's play so far. And it's Wade who will meet the promising young Dutch prospect Benito van der Pas in round 2 tomorrow. Well, next to aim for a last 16 place are A.Lewis and John Henderson. A.D. a finalist here 12 months ago when he lost to Gary Anderson. Lots to look forward to later on, including mighty Michael van Gerwen against Keegan Brown and the Flying Scotsman Anderson against Phil the Power Taylor. It's for the first time ever in the first round, by the way. And Barney and Peter Snakebite Wright also in action before the end of play. Well, John Henderson was a quarter-finalist in the European Championship in Hasselt at the start of the month. AD's in form too, with 2 semi-finals in the last 3 tournaments. So why don't we get them on stage then? John McDonald.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the action. It comes to you live on ITV and from Butlins, Minehead. The Cash Converters Players Championship Finals, brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. A very special welcome to the millions of viewers joining us around the world. It's time now to meet the players. It's time to meet the Highlander, Big John Henderson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the back-to-back 2-time champion of the world jackpot,
Gold and black shirt making its debut tonight. Very nice, AD. Over to Alan Warren a little, and good evening to John Rawling.
Good evening, Jackie. Good evening, everybody. We have here Stoke-on-Trent against Huntly in Scotland. Lewis and Henderson, and there's Big John, 42 years old. Reached the quarter-final of the European Championship on ITV4 a few weeks back. Lost on that occasion to Peter Wright, 10-4. He's in the world top 32 now. On his day, a very good darts player. A.Lewis, always so popular with the crowd. A sellout crowd here. Stoke-on-Trent, hotbed of darting talent. He's now 30, twice world champion. And as Jackie was telling you, runner-up last year to Gary Anderson. Lost, was it 11-6 in the final? And he had a very good tournament indeed. Looking to replicate that this time around, and so far as the bookies are concerned, Lewis the favourite, Alan.
Yeah, I think that's correct with Lewis. He's in good form as well, obviously number 5 in the world, but it is the shorter format. Certainly it suits John Henderson a little bit more than it will Adrian Lewis. But John Henderson really here by virtue of that European Tour final, he got to £10,000. I think number 32 in the Players' Championships on 22, so that's the benchmark you have to earn as a minimum to get in this tournament.
It is a snazzy shirt, that Aidy's modelling tonight.
That's his new shirt, apparently.
Well, what about this for a start?
140.
He's got such an amazing action, hasn't he, John Henderson? That rocking. He sort of lets go of his last dart. But Lewis looking to fill up. Oh, just to the right.
Lewis with a classical throwing action, hasn't he? Watching Webster and Wade in the previous match. And Webster has a bit of a rock as well, doesn't he? Another of the classical throwers of the game in action later on, Steve Beaton.
It's amazing when you look at the throws, John, how different they are with each player. There's not two that you could say were very similar.
Well, no, I mean, in theory, you always look at the static head, don't you, and the economy of movement. Those who sort of pogo around on the hockey, like Jockey Wilson in years gone by, they're few and far between.
48.
Oh, he was certainly lively, was our jockey. Another great Scotsman here in John Henderson. Very well respected in the game.
Then a TV crew up here doing something about great mavericks of the sport, and Jockey Wilson certainly one of them. Let's have a look at this now. What can he do? Well, he needed the treble 15 there, but he's set it up nicely.
Yeah, good start from Lewis. Nice and steady. After double, after 15 darts.
100. Adrian requires 16.
Double 8 then. Falls.
Nice and tidy, if not spectacular. But he's done what he needed to do.
You were contributing to that Maverick programme earlier on, weren't you, Alan? I should mention that it brought back a few memories of the great names and great era of 20, 30 years ago.
It's quite funny actually, because when we were talking about it, he was only supposed to be doing it for 15 minutes. He ended up doing it for an hour because he's talking about all the things that we used to do. Within reason, obviously.
I was going to say a few of the anecdotes might not make. Actually, they would make very good television after 9 o'clock, maybe.
But the programme should be pretty good. Got quite a few people's views there on the Darts Mavericks. Looking forward to seeing it when it comes out.
Alan Evans' figure.
He certainly did. A fiery Welshman.
Good player he was.
Yeah, it was kind of the characters of yesteryear and how it's different today.
Eric
was the #1 Maverick.
Filling it up. Oh, I thought he was going to get his first maximum there. Decent game so far, this, Alan.
Yeah, give himself an outside chance, but Henderson looking at 141. Oh, needed the treble 19. So a chance for Lewis. Treble 20 if he misses that, maybe the treble 17. Yes.
Now
treble
then.
11 for double 14. Bull! And bull it is! And that's no ball. 2-0 to Lewis.
Hot stuff from AD.
Yeah, you've got to say that certainly recently Adrian Lewis has been criticised for slow starts, but it's been pretty good at the moment.
Averaging
Once it's
10 plus.
Well, yeah, you know, it is the shorter format. We do say that quite a lot. You've got to get off the mark pretty quickly. He's doing it well.
John Henderson got to the final of the German Darts Masters earlier in the year. Narrow loss there to Michael van Gerwen. AD had that win over in New Zealand, didn't he? Won the Auckland Masters.
Yeah, part of the World Series. 3 Pro Tour events under his belt this year as well.
Couple up in Barnsley.
Yeah, Barnsley, one of our major event. There he is. Wigan, another one.
Good town, Barnsley. It's a good place.
Certainly is.
Parky and Dickie Bird. Jack Charlton lived there for a long time, or just outside.
95.
And downstairs, Lewis. Still a long way behind here. Needed 2 trebles to leave the finish. So a chance for Henderson here.
45.
Needs to get into this match. Already the break against him. And that short format when the initial move is against you, difficult to hit back, but he's got a real chance now because he's going to come back irrespective of what Lewis does here. That's great scoring, but now Henderson 45 to get into the match.
Yeah, can't afford to miss with Lewis on 60. Oh, great dart there from Hendo. I feel a whole lot better now.
Bit of pressure there, Alan, needed that, because Lewis coming thundering down with that 140.
Well, yeah, it wasn't a high-scoring leg from Adrian. All of a sudden he pops in a 140, leaving himself 60, a 2-dart finish. And Henderson's now making his move. Great darts from Hendo, his first maximum.
And his average now cracks the 100 mark as well.
85.
Yeah, we had some games this afternoon, didn't we, John, that didn't quite live to the expectations. It got better as the day went on, but this evening's certainly been a lot better.
100.
Some of the bigger names in the game, if you will. All the fancy dress is here tonight in profusion. Come from all over the country for this one down to Minehead. It's become very much a part of the darting calendar, the Players' Championship finals.
100.
When you speak to the fans when you're going through, they just absolutely love it here, don't they? They just love coming down for the 3 days.
You've been wandering out for your fix of adulation, have you?
57.
You kept asking me if I knew you, John. What's that all about?
121. Now, treble 17, maybe. Or maybe not. No, he's just going to set it up.
81, so treble 19's a shot. Well, treble 7's okay.
Will do.
So it leaves a 2-dart. A single 7 wouldn't have been as good. And Adrian's having another sloppy leg as well, really. After 2-0 up, looking good after the 1-2-1 finish.
Henderson then to square off the match. 20 for tops. That's the easy part completed. And that's the tricky bit right in the middle. Great dart. 2-2.
Yeah, and 2 out of 2 on double top for John Henderson. 100% on doubles. 0.2 off 100 average as well. Good standard this game.
Yep, bit of a wakey maybe for Adrian Lewis. Break at the end of this leg, so doesn't want to surrender the throw again, but he's under pressure if Henderson keeps on belting those in.
Yeah, great darts from Hendo. Hit one in the last leg. He's got it back to 2-2, and he's making his move to go in 3-2 at the break.
Now can he build on that advantage? Another big score here. Ton 40 would be handy. And couldn't really cement that advantage that he claimed with his first visit.
No, that's right. Lewis has got to watch it here. Needs treble 20 to leave a finish. Oh, good last start that was. Went for the 18 with the second one. Looked like the bed was blocked.
Hendo's going to be on a finish as well, though, by the looks of it. And this is handy. Oh, just by a whisker away.
That 5 makes a big difference as well. 1-4-2. If he did a single 20, 1-2-2 would have given him more options for a finish. Now he's got to hit 2 trebles.
Starting up at the top, and he's got the treble 20, treble 19 now, which he's also got double 10 for 137. What a checkout! Henderson, a brilliant 137 checkout, takes the leg against the throw, and a big break. He might well kiss the darts. He leads 3-2. A hot atmosphere here in Minehead, where John Henderson leads Adrian Lewis by 3 legs to 2. All smiles. And the pet gorilla in attendance as well. He looks a happy lad, doesn't he?
That gorilla must be absolutely sweltering. It's red hot in there.
6 leg John to
A big smile on his face. John Henderson is throwing extremely well. He's averaging close to 104, or was before that throw. And has really settled down well. Lewis just needs to regroup and could do with hitting straight back, having lost the throw in the leg before the break.
We actually thought John had missed his chance, didn't we, when he hit that single five with his last dart in the preceding throw.
137.
And then takes that out.
99.
Fantastic finish. From 2-0 down to 3-2 up.
Lewis, regular practice partner of Ian White, who's in action later on against Barney.
Good chance here for Lewis. Good last start from Henderson to maybe break straight back if he can, coming downstairs. Should go back up. So I won't leave anything. Needs to continue with the high scoring to get him to the finish or the double first. He's just lost his range a little bit as Henderson, because he's scoring in the last three legs. He's hitting the treble as well with his first dart.
Break can work both ways, can't it? He's just had that fantastic check out and was throwing well, Henderson, and then you get the break and he's come back and it's suddenly just lost that little bit of momentum.
Well, he was kissing his dart, wasn't he? The 137. Indeed. Now he's shaking his head. Just shows you how quickly it can change. Good visit there.
Great switch. Great switch. Well, this is a big one for 80. Double 12. Oh yes, 104. That's the break back.
Good finish from Lewis there, making him feel a whole lot better after losing 3 consecutive legs. The doubles in this match, 6 out of 7, very impressive. Especially when we've seen the amount of doubles missed this afternoon. It was incredible, really.
Yep, this very much more like it.
85.
Henderson's got to try and get his range back he had in the latter part of that first session. That's better.
Played himself into the world top 32 now, John Henderson.
99.
There or thereabouts for a while now. 42 years old. Must be a good scalp if he could take this, if he could somehow come out victorious.
100.
Certainly will. He's got himself in a decent position.
Alan Norris awaiting in the next round for the winner of this.
50.
Who's that 6-3 winner over Jenkins? That strange game, wasn't it, when both players just seemed to go to sleep on the finishing.
Are you telling me he likes a game of golf, Alan?
He does like a game of golf.
You like a game of golf down here at the moment. That's terrific from Lewis. Maximum his first of the match. Yeah, irrespective of the fact, of course, that it's dark outside, it's also blowing a howling gale.
86.
Yeah, it's not the perfect weather. I'm glad I'm indoors.
101. Double 12. Oh, that would have been back-to-back ton-plus checkouts.
Yeah, that would have been good for Lewis to continue in for the rest of the match. Big John not on a finish, so he's coming back for double 6.
31.
Here he goes. 2 sixes for Lewis for 4-3. Oh dear, tough one now. Not lying particularly well, but a good adjustment and taking the lead.
Well, great adjustment, because you could see from that angle there, a lot of the bed was blocked by the angle of the second dart going for double 3.
Could be a big dart in the context of the match. You may be going to be looking back at that one and saying, yeah,
59.
That was the moment that he really showed that he was on the way to victory, possibly.
And getting it with the last dart as well. It's that killer last dart. Your opponent stood behind you thinking he's going to get a shot, and all of a sudden that's taken away.
Vintage Lewis though at the moment, match average 94. We'll be hoping for 10 more than that.
Yeah, he's certainly had his moments, hasn't he? 1-2-1 finish on the bull as we saw earlier. 104 in this session. Only the one maximum.
41.
Normally quite a big maximum hitter. It's more important to get through this match and into the next round.
As in any sport, it's the W that counts, isn't it? Win scruffy, but win.
Absolutely. That's the name of the game. Henderson can't leave anything here.
100.
Having a think and going back to the top of the board.
96.
I couldn't believe it. Finished with that last dart. Henderson certainly can.
100.
Oh, Henderson 102, he'll fancy his chances there. Lewis just trying to apply the pressure and doing brilliantly. Cover shot coming up.
137. Johnny Require 102.
Well, he's seen Lewis take out the 104. This 102 is massive for him. Oh, he's missed the board. Incredibly, he's missed the board. I can't believe it.
Well, that is almost inexplicable. 66 then for Lewis to go 5-3 ahead. Double 18 now, likes this. Little adjustment, and in she goes. 5-3. Well, Henderson, I tell you what, you talk about big points. There's that double 3, which Lewis got in the leg prior to that, but that miss there by Henderson.
Well, if he'd hit the 2 and just wired the double, he'd have thought unlucky, but doing that, then that plays tricks you with your mind. If he stood there, absolutely raging with himself. Can't believe he's missed that opportunity to throw to level at 4-4.
Want to control the anger, channel the aggression, the adrenaline, but that opening throw there suggests that the miss hurt.
Yeah, good for Lewis now. Henderson's got to get back to the scoring he had in the middle part of the match. He's got to get rid of those negative thoughts he's got from missing the single 2.
60.
Well, we said that the win's what it's about, and winning without looking particularly good doesn't really matter. This is not a top Lewis performance, but he's closing in on a 6-3 win. Henderson away back, he could do with 180 now.
Well, he's had 2. Definitely needs something big here. It's just not happening for Big John now.
Lewis on setup mode.
96.
And that'll do.
He'll be happy with that. Doesn't have to do too much with John so far back. Even though 180 won't leave a finish.
Well, Lewis is going to have 6 darts from here for 103. Coming down for the 17s. Well, that's not exactly vintage, but it's on a finish anyway.
Ball would have left double 8, but he's okay with that. A 2-darter. John Henderson only halfway through the leg.
So Lewis for the match. Which way is he going to go? Looking at 9. Yep, double 16 now. And that is the way to do it, the way to end the game. He knows, look, the expression. He's feeling for Henderson, who, well, he had that inexplicable miss, didn't he? And Lewis knows that he wasn't at his best there. But he's come home safely through into the next round, beating John Henderson 6-3.